Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Quick Tech Tips and Reviews. My name is Tony, and with this channel we bring you guys a variety of tech-related content. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell down below so that you're alerted to when new content is being released. Today we're going to set up the Unifi NVR software in a Docker container on a Synology NAS. Alright guys, so a few weeks back I did a video on setting up the UVC G3 camera in standalone mode. My intent way back when I first got the camera was to get the NVR and multiple cameras and build out the Unifi video system on my network. However, since then I decided to go in a different route. I've been using the Ring Wi-Fi cameras, and by the way, I'm very happy with those products. That being said, at this point I'm not going to spend the $300 some odd on the Unifi NVR. So I'm looking for another way to at least explore the software and learn more about it. So I'm going to install it today on inside a Docker container on my Synology NAS. Now trust me, I've not used Docker before, so I'm not proclaiming to be any kind of expert or anything. I played around with it a little bit before making this video so I don't stumble over myself. In fact, I still have my cheat notes right here. So bear with me as I take you through the process of getting this set up. So what we're going to cover in today's video is how to install Docker on the Synology NAS from the package center. Then once it's installed, we're going to download the video image from the Docker registry, and we're going to pretty much refer to the README instructions that come along with that image. Then we're going to create two folders inside the Docker folder. When you install Docker on the Synology NAS, it automatically creates the Docker folder for you. Inside that folder, we're going to create a Unifi video folder, and then inside the Unifi video folder, we're going to create a subfolder for the videos. Now, once we have those created, we're going to change the ownership of those folders so that they meet the requirements that you'll see specified in the README. And then we're going to go ahead and modify the command that installs the Unifi video container. Now, part of this is going to be done in the Synology web interface. Part of it's going to be done via SSH. Let's get started with that process. So I'm signed into my Synology NAS, and by the way, this is a DS216+2. And we're going to come over to the package center because the first thing we have to do is download and install Docker. So let's click on the package center. And once the package center opens, just come up to the search bar and type in Docker and hit search. And you can see it shows up right here. And all we have to do next is click on the install button. And once Docker is installed, it will create the Docker folder for us, and then we'll proceed with the next steps. But it's downloading now, and I will come back once it is downloaded and installed. Okay, Docker finished downloading and was installed, and you can see here we have an open status. Now we have the option of opening Docker right from here, or we can go up here to the main menu and launch Docker from the main menu. You also have the option, if you want to add the shortcut to your desktop, to just right click on the Docker icon and select add to desktop. But for now, we'll just go back to here and we'll click open. We get a welcome message. And then in the overview, you can see it's showing us the CPU usage and the RAM usage, and we don't have any containers yet. So the next thing we're going to do is come over to the registry tab so that we can download the Unifi video image, and we're going to just come up here and type in Unifi video and hit search. And the image we want to download is right here from P. Ducharme. So let me go ahead and double click that and begin the process. Please choose a tag. So we're going to go with the latest tag. That's the latest version of the software. You can see other versions of the Unifi video software here. So I'm going to select the latest. And now if we come over to the image tab, you can see we have one image starting to download. While that's downloading, let me point this out to you. If you come over here next to the image name and click on this pop-out arrow, it gives you the README information regarding that image. Now, there's a couple of things to note here. Let's go over this. So here is the run it command that will install the Unifi video container and get it up and running. Now we're going to have to make some changes to this, so I am going to copy this and paste it into just a text editor so that we can modify it and make the changes we need. Coming down here, just point out about this TMPFS mount error. So basically they're saying if you get this error, just simply add this line of text to your command. So we'll do that as well. So let me go up into the text edit program and just paste the command. I'll make that a little bit bigger for you. You can see the same size. Now, what I have over here in the right side, in another text edit window, is a version of the command already edited. This is what the command starts out like. This is what the command needs to be in the end once we're done editing. And we'll go through the changes one by one once we get to that point. Now it's time to create our folders via SSH. All right, guys, so the first thing we have to do is SSH into our Synology NAS. So let's do that now. Okay, now that I'm signed into my NAS, I'm going to switch over to sudo privileges by just typing sudo su and wants the password. Okay, so now I'm logged in with sudo privileges. Now, to create the two folders, I'm going to do them using basically one command. But first, I'm going to change directory into the volume 1 into the Docker folder. And just to confirm, if you do pwd, which is present working directory, you can see that I'm in the path of volume/docker. So to make the two directories in the one command, we're going to say make directory mkdir/p unifi-video //videos. Okay, and now we should have both directories created. So if we do an ls there we go, and you can see here we have a Unifi video folder. So if we change directory into the Unifi video folder, sorry, syntax, and we do an ls, you can see there's our videos. So the next thing we need to do now is change the ownership, because you can see these folders are owned by root, and we want to just secure them so that they can't access anything else on the NAS. And according to the instruction sheet from P. Ducharme, the user IDs have to be 99 for the user and 100 for the group. So that's what we're going to set now. So in SSH, we're going to say, we're going to use chown/r, and we're going to say 99 and 100. So we match our instructions in our README, and then we're going to put the path. So volume 1/docker Unifi video. Okay, so now if we do an ls, you can see that the owner has been changed from root to nobody. Okay, the next step of the process now is to work in the text editor and modify the run command so that we can get our container set up. Okay, so the next step is to modify the run command so that we can get our Unifi video container up and running successfully. On the left is what we copied and pasted over from the README file, and then on the right side is the already edited command. So what we're going to do is go line by line and discuss how we got from here to here. So if you look in the first line, Docker run, the difference is the -d flag. So we're going to add -d, and basically all that does is tell the command to run in the background, not in the foreground, just the one time. Name Unifi Video. That's fine. Here we have the one-line command that should help in preventing that mount error we discussed about earlier. So if I copy that and just come over here and paste it in, now we have that in place. You can see the next command is network equals host, and what that is, let me just copy that and get that pasted. Network equals host is basically saying use the same network as the NAS itself. So in other words, don't create another virtual network inside of the host network. So it will use the same IP scheme as the NAS itself. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind, and I don't know this for a fact. These are just things I read while I was out perusing the forums the other day. Say when you set the container to use the same network as the host, you could run into some possible conflicts. For example, if you're running OpenVPN server on the NAS, it could conflict with that. It could also conflict with the RAID, depending on your RAID setup. Again, I don't claim to be any kind of expert with this, so do your due diligence. But for what I'm doing here, for just a testing in the lab setup, is perfectly fine. So network equals host. And then here, the next command, we're going to set the container to restart in the event of loss of power. If the containers intentionally stop, it won't restart. But if there's a power loss, the container will automatically restart. Okay, the next two lines are the same. And now you see here we have a bunch of port forwarding commands, which we can get rid of now that we set the network to be the same as the NAS, which is host. So we're just going to highlight those and get rid of those. There you go. Now in the next two commands, we have to set the data directory and the video directory. And those are the two folders that we created earlier. So we created, if you see here, in the volume 1 Docker folder, we created the Unifi video. So I'm going to copy that and just come over here and replace this with path. And then for the videos folder, we're just going to take this whole thing here, volume 1 Docker Unifi video /videos, copy that, and replace this here. Okay, the next line is time zone. Now, if you're in Los Angeles, you can keep this. I happen to be in the New York time zone, so I set mine to New York. So we will copy that. And then the rest should be the same. The permissions for the user and the group, 99 and 100. And there you go. So now if we take this and we copy this entire command, I could have copied either one, and we go back into our terminal. Let me just minimize this, and we paste that whole command in the terminal. We should get a successful container ID. And now if we go back into the actual NAS web user interface and we come over to well, actually you can see in the overview that we have a running container, Unifi Video, P Ducharme. If we look at the container itself, you can see that it is running here. It's been up for about a minute. You can see the CPU usage and the RAM usage. So the next thing to do is to point the browser to the IP of the NAS with the port 7443, and it should load the controller. And here we go. We're getting the security message, and we're going to say OK because it's a self-signed certificate. We're going to proceed to 192.168.25.60, and yours will be different depending on your network IP scheme. And here we go. So we're going to set up the NVR for the first time. So I'm going to call it my first Unifi NVR. the time zone is correct. I'm going to agree to the terms of service. Going to go ahead and say next, and I'll just give it a name. And say next. And then here it shows you your camera recovery password. It says any cameras you manage will use this password. Let's continue. Setup is complete. Let's go to cameras. And there you go. We're in the camera view of the software, and I have a Unifi G3 plugged into the network. That's the one that I had set up recently in standalone mode, and you can see here it says unmanaged. So guys, that about wraps it up for today's video. I hope you found the video helpful. Again, I went through this cautiously because I'm not an expert in doing these kinds of things, but I like to learn, I like to explore, I like to keep increasing my knowledge. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check out some of my other videos up above. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share, and use those Amazon affiliate links. It doesn't change your price, but it does help out the channel. My name is Tony with Quick Tech Solutions. As always, thank you for watching. See you next time.